Hi, you guys. I'm back. Okay, so who is ready to jump into this? I'll wait for a few more people. I'm going to have some of my tea. So I'm going to wait for a few people to get on because I don't want to start yet. How are you? Yes. Okay, so let's start. I'll wait till 100 people get here and then we'll go. So I'm going to be discussing our power, our power over destiny, how we can manifest our own destiny, and how we are not trapped by certain things. And it does explain it in this book. So this is your resource. It is going to be in the Corpus Hermeticum book 16. On the last page, front back. Okay. Y'all have this book, it's page 77. And it go the whole 16, the whole book 16, but I'm going to hit on the last part because that's the part that I'm going to be discussing. Okay. Hi, kitty. Thank you. So you like this lip color? This is Fenty Rihanna Galaxy Collection. Okay, since I'm talking about the cosmos and dark energy, I decided to put the Cosmos Galaxy Collection on. Manifesting is, if you don't know where to begin with manifesting, start with the law of attraction. Start with The Secret or something. Okay, there's a book and a movie called The Secret. Start there. Okay, so this is going to get super deep. So if you're not into this yet, just listen. You'll understand it later, perhaps. Okay, so let's start. There's 106. Okay, so when people say, I don't have control over my own destiny, I signed a contract, I'm here, this is what I'm supposed to do, my sign guides me, everything rules me, I'm just following a path that I've been on, and I'm suffering from past life karma. All that stuff is only if you are not a conscious, godlike being. That is for mere mortals that have not been enlightened, okay? That's for them. No matter how spiritual you are, no matter how much you meditate and eat grass and wheatgrass and hold crystals, if this is what's coming out your mouth, you are not conscious, okay? Because I'm going to break it down to you. So here we go. Now, again, in the Emerald Tablets and in the Corpus Hermeticum, the sun represents your pineal gland and your thalamus as well. These glands in here, okay? When they say God in here, because, they could not say other things back then. So when they say God in here, they're representing the dark energy, the force, the source energy, okay? So I'm going to read what this says, okay? And let me just break it down for you first, because y'all aren't going to understand this in the terms that they've put it in. But basically, the same consciousness that we have free will, other beings also have the same free will and consciousness to do with as they please. Okay, so the people who are not so nice, the people that are not so giving and also understand this knowledge can use it as they please as well. So for evil doings, for greedy doings, for their own agendas. It says, all these spirits have been given authority over affairs upon earth and over turbulence there. They cause a variety of disorders, both publicly in cities and among nations. but also in the lives of individuals, for they shape our souls after themselves. Okay, so if y'all are into this, and the creation stories behind a lot of humans, you know, you're going to understand, what who they're talking about. Beings, creator energies, spirits, whatever, um, souls that are in human form right now, that are residing, or let's just say the powers that be, okay, at the time. So they shape our souls after themselves, and it also resides in our marrow, veins, and arteries. So it's saying our creators, if you believe in all that alien stuff and human hybrid stuff, who created us have, okay, their own agenda, and they're all different. And so can we. That's what they're saying. We have the same exact power. So it also says the spirits who are set as attendants beneath each star according to each birth take possession of each one of us at the moment we are born. So our spirit, when we come in our body, our soul, after it's given breath, um, enters into this body and mm, stands free of the tyranny. Like, you're not under that tyranny, okay? And you are still able to receive source information and manifest your own will, okay? Um, then it says, when by the way of the sun, that rational part in a man or woman is illumined by a ray of light, the spiritual powers cease to affect them. So any type of spiritual activity, any type of ritual that's going on, any bad stuff against you won't work. Okay? This is what it's saying. It says any spiritual powers cease to affect them. Won't work. Okay? So, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. Okay. So, for no spirit or force of any power against one ray from the source, from consciousness, is able to mislead. That means you know too much. You can't be fooled. Okay. You will catch it. They have no power against you. You see everything. You see it before it happens. You see the symbols, the signs. That's what I teach in my group. When we learn how to see everything, there's nothing that can come against you because you see it coming a mile away. Okay. Or something is not right, so you move away from whatever. Or you can predict it through the alchemy, through the symbols, Um, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it says, but all men are born and led both by soul and bodies by the powers that be. Okay. These, whose activities they dearly love. So if you're caught up in the mundane world and you agree with everything that's done and said, and you only see the surface, and that's all you fall in love with, then you're going to be misled very easily. And it says it right here. You're going to be misled very easy. Thus, the powers have control over all our affairs upon earth through the instruments of our bodies. This control Hermes calls destiny. So your destiny is only controlled by others if you're not conscious and can do this and are connected and understand your own powers, So, okay, so thus the spiritual world depends upon the source and the force, and the physical world depends on the spiritual And through the spiritual and physical, the sun receives information from source. So, so through the physical and the spiritual, you are able to interpret what's going on. Okay. So your your third eye, your pineal gland, your ability to read symbolism, signs, see things in code allows you to understand what's really going on so you don't fall for the okey doke, I like to say. Okay. Um, Okay. So basically, um, where if we're going so source, universe, dark energy, source created everything. We have that connection through our consciousness, our pineal gland, and we also have the cosmos, which is the instrument of creative power. The dark energy is used to manifest and create. Okay, this spiritual substance, they call it. You see, spiritual substance, dark matter, governs the heavens, the darkness. Okay, the heavens govern the gods. We are gods and goddesses. The dark energy is dependent on us as we are dependent on the dark energy. And the powers which are appointed by the gods govern men. This is the host of gods and powers. So the powers that are appointed by the gods that govern men. A god is anyone who is able to use this and see and controls their own destiny. Okay. That is the definition of a god or goddess, someone who controls their own destiny. And nothing can really affect that. Okay. So a god can be good, bad, crazy, dysfunctional, doesn't matter. As long as you have this and you're able to control it, there is no good or bad. So that's what this is saying. If you take control of your destiny by using your pineal gland, third eye, and your thalamus to create with the dark energy that govern the heavens that govern the gods. Okay. So you can change by being a god how other gods or goddesses think just by your creative manifesting. You change the destiny of the mundane as well as the other gods who are not, who have less, what do you call it? Influence. Okay. That's why when a lot of people get too big and too powerful, especially in the music industry and in the entertainment industry, people try to bring them down because they have too much influence and it starts messing up other people's agendas. Okay. It's not a battle between good and evil. It's a battle between influence. So, through these instruments, all these things are created through us, through this pineal gland. There's always going to be things being created. Whether you're creating them is up to you or not. Thank you, Boogie Oogie. Shira, love the topic. Keep seeing repeating numbers all day, every day. Yes, look those up. You'll get your message. Okay. So basically, there is no excuse. You're either a human follower that has a destiny already played out for them that you will follow, or you're a god or goddess that creates their own destiny as well as manifest their own agendas and influence other gods as well as the people. Now, it's up to you whether you want to have this energy, this connection, this source, and the dark energy, which they call the spiritual substance, the dark matter, is what you are connected with. When you close your eyes and manifest, that is what you're doing. You're taking control. You're understanding your God-like qualities and you are using them. You are studying, you are seeking knowledge, you are using your pineal gland, your thalamus to create your own destiny. You do not follow anything. You influence other things. That's why my favorite card in the tarot is the star. It even talks about the star in there. We all come from the star. And we either follow the star's influence or we influence the stars. Okay? It's up to you. Who are you? What are you? Star goddess, baby. Okay? So know who you are. And once you do that, no one can control your destiny. And no one, spiritual work, can even affect you or touch you ever. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people will say, oh, they can get around it. They can get around it. But if you see them, if you see it coming, if you see signs, if you see the alchemy, if you see the signs of it coming, then you can deter from it, or you can prevent it, or you can create your own destiny instead. So it's not that their work is not going to work. It's just that you're going to be able to see it coming from a mile away. Okay. So that's, this is a really good book. If you've already gotten through Idiot's Guide for Alchemy and the Emerald Tablets, you will like this. They probably have this online, the Corpus Hermeticum or the Ways of Hermes. So the sun is the third eye. Yes. That's what they call it. Yes. The son of man, not Jesus, but this. Okay. Your Christ consciousness, your third eye, your, what do you call it? They call it your ray of sun that's connecting to the cosmos. Your ability to see beyond sight. Okay, your ability to interpret things through alchemy, through symbolism, through breaking down things, So you'll be able to do that. That's what I teach in my group. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be able to release my golden elixir, my gold elixir that I'm coming out with. It is an alchemy substance with gold in it, of course, among other things that I will be talking about more. And this will help with this as well as the thalamus, which I explained, which is in control of the actual visualizing and manifesting. Okay, it works beyond the third eye. And it's going to help you become more creative in creating your life. Now, the reason that I read from this book is so that you guys can know that you are in control of your own destiny if you so choose to be. Okay, there is nothing written for you. There are no contracts you are under. There is nothing except for your own free will. Are you going to be a mundane follower of those in power and let them choose your destiny for you? Or are you going to become a god or goddess or divine? Some people don't like that word, god or goddess. Are you going to become a divine being and choose your own path and be an influencer versus being influenced? Are you going to be a star that influences, or are you going to be a star that is influenced by other stars? Okay, that's your question. I am trying to tell you guys You have a choice. Whether they told you you did or not, whether they lied to you, misled you, misguided you, told you your destiny was already set, told you you had some karma in the past life, told you that's why you can't get from A, B to C. Whatever they said was a lie. Okay. You are in control of that. And if you know that and you understand that and you're seeking the knowledge to be able to discern when you're being misled or not through enhancing your natural abilities as a divine being, you'll be able to understand exactly what's going on, when it's going on. You'll be able to see the lies form in thin air. You'll be able to understand what really happened. That's why a lot of stuff is considered either a conspiracy, or we don't talk about that, or it's just skipped over and forgotten and brushed under the rug, because not everybody is supposed to know this stuff. That's why in the olden days, they had the mystery schools, the secret societies, the blah, 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 blah. You know what? It's so sad now that they don't even have to have that anymore. They don't lock up the knowledge anymore because people are so busy and misled that they don't even seek out the knowledge anymore. There are very few people that will seek it out. So it does not have to be hidden anymore, because I actually have to, tell people, well, you can Google that. So if you're not um, seeking the knowledge, you won't find it. If you're not perfecting yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, you're not going to be able to become divine. Now, when I say physically, I don't mean be the perfect specimen of a human. I mean physically, as far as being able to actually concentrate and be healthy enough to do the spiritual work and the mental work, where you're not so tired and drained and stressed out to focus on this. Okay. Um, Yeah. So some people don't want to take the time to learn at all the information, because they would rather be controlled. Okay. There's a difference. A lot of people would rather be controlled and told what to do and what to think, because they don't want to do that. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to be divine. They want to be told what to do. They want to think that there's a heaven and hell. And if they do good, they'll be rewarded. They need that. They want it. They are not connected. They don't want to be connected. They want it, their destiny put out before them so they can just live day to day. Okay. Those people like that. And I've talked to too many people that said, I don't care. I just want to know that this, and that, and I'm good. That's all I need. Some people, they have questions. They want to know more, so they seek more. Those people who are completely satisfied with what's been set in front of them are completely satisfied, and that makes them happy. It is stupid, but if that's what they want, let them be. Okay. Those powers that be, who are also divine and gods, need them for whatever their agenda is. Okay. Whatever it is. I don't know. But it doesn't concern you, because you are creating your own. That's why when a lot of people start talking about all the problems and issues in the world, they don't concern me, because I'm not on that frequency. I'm not in that reality, because I have created my own. you know so that's how, whenever someone comes talking to you about some stupid stuff, some stuff you don't care about, some some major issues that are affecting this and that, you don't have to listen to that. You create your own. you know um so yeah. And it's just like people that, there's certain type of workers, people that are self-starters and people that need to be told what to do step by step. And there are leaders, there are followers. We need both in this world. Okay. Maybe next lifetime they will seek more divinity. And maybe this time they're supposed to be a follower. You know? So it's not for anyone to judge your walk, your path, or others' walk of life. Exactly. So if you if you happen to be someone who's divine and connected and can read symbolism and understand alchemy and see things coming from a mile away and understand everything that's being put out, and you're not affected by a lot of the stuff that's going on because you've created your own destiny, you can manifest easy, you pretty much get what you want because of your connection and your understanding of the cosmos, yourself, dark energy, and your ability to manifest as a god or goddess or a divine spirit, then you're good. You know, if you still wonder about this, and if you still wonder and have questions and fears, you're not divine yet. And so a lot of, you know, this is just a level of consciousness. And maybe, you know, your pineal gland and your thalamus gland aren't functioning at the rate it should be. Maybe if you had, more copper, more gold, more, electricity conductors in your bloodstream, it could happen, you know. So that's what I'm saying. And even if you don't, the very fact that you're concentrating on it and trying to learn and seeking knowledge is going to help you anyway, you know? So it doesn't matter if your third eye is open. Do you understand what you're looking at? Are you able to interpret the signs and symbols all around you? Are you able to see what's going on? Can you break down stuff to the smallest detail in occult knowledge? You know, if you can do that, you're good. Like, I don't say a lot of things because a lot of people aren't there yet. But I see a lot of things in TV and videos that are pointing to a certain direction where things are getting ready to head in the very near future. And I know what to start doing. I know how to prepare. I know, and it's not anything bad, but I know what to invest in. I know what to start looking for. I know what to start preparing for. A, B, C, and D. Why? Because I read signs. And the whole thing, can you do it? You know, the gods, the divine ones that are all around us, they're people, they're influencers, they're a lot of different people that are in the media, da, da, da. They're telling us a lot of things in code and symbols. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you're not divine. They're only communicating to other gods and goddesses. Okay, they're only communicating to the divine. So you gotta understand that you too can become divine. hmm The signs are not going to be blatant. Okay, they're going to be very mundane. You're going to have to be a student. Okay, a seeker. You're going to have to want your godhood in order to see what's real. Okay. So you said you saw a car ad with a meteor coming. Did you see it? Okay, that's too obvious. Now, the meteor coming with the car could represent something else. You got to look up what the symbol of a meteor actually represents. Look up symbols. Nothing is literal. Now, they might start showing things that is probably going to happen in the near future. But when it's something like that, look up the symbol first and see if it makes more sense. Okay? I understand everything you're saying. I took my year to get to that point, and now you took a year to get to that point. Now you feel very comfortable because it's now easy to create. Exactly. Now, remember, it's more than just being able to manifest and create. It's being able to read the signs. Okay. You got to be able to break stuff down. Y'all know how I do those breakdowns for the videos? Y'all got to be able to do that for everything in order to see. Okay. Like even in the Bible, when they use metaphors like, oh, Jesus made a blind man see, that's what he's talking about. Okay. You're blind to the symbols and the codes. You only see what's on the surface. You don't see beyond that. So you need to be able to see beyond that. You need to be able to break stuff down. That's what I gave an assignment in the group to break a certain place down that they choose, and they got to break it down like I broke it down in the group in order to meet the challenge. And it wasn't really an assignment. It's very optional, but you got to be able to do this in order to understand what you're doing, where you are, and why you're there. Um, Thank you. So you met a Mesopotamian god king recently, and you are in the process of becoming his student. You should be your own student. Okay, I don't advise following anybody. Why? Because think about their agenda. I'm just saying, think about their agenda. You don't follow me, you just listen to me. You know what I'm saying? You take what I say and do what you choose with it. You're not following any curriculum. You're not following any steps, any whatever. Okay. Beware of people that want to teach you. Okay. Because I can teach you some stuff too that's going to benefit me more than it will you. Why? Because I have free will. And you won't understand it if you don't see how I see. You know what I'm saying? So please, you guys, don't start following people. Don't start becoming students of people unless it is a free mm, choice. Like you can learn, you don't have to learn. You can follow, you don't have to follow. You could do whatever you want in the meantime, blah, 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 blah. You should have your free will still. You don't follow me. You just watch my videos and do what you want to do. Okay. I don't say, well, you have to do this or else. Or if you don't do that, you're going to suffer. I don't say any of that. You know, I don't have a curriculum. All I do is read books you can go by and interpret them for you, help you along and get to where you need to get faster. Okay. And I help break down things so y'all can see in a different way. But I never ask anybody to follow me, believe me. Because then that means you're going to be asking me a million questions. So I say follow me on YouTube, but that's about it. Don't follow me as a goddess. Okay, don't follow me as that. I declare my own divinity and you should be declaring yours. Why would another god follow a goddess? You know what I'm saying? Follow yourself. You are divine. You don't need a teacher. You are the teacher. Teach, learn from others and become greater. Don't follow anybody. Please don't. Because that's how a lot of women, especially women, get messed up. That's how a lot of people get messed up. Okay. Um, Follow yourself. Follow your own free will. Okay. It even tells you right here. It even tells you in the Corpus Hermeticum that you are in control of your own destiny. If you choose to follow behind someone, you're following into their destiny. And now they control you. Okay. And I'm telling you this so that you can make up your own mind and your own destiny. Okay. I'm telling you, do not follow anybody. Follow yourself. You are your own divinity. If you're looking for someone to teach you or learn, you should just be learning from them not being a follower. There's a difference. Okay. Do you follow your teacher at school or do you learn from them and move on? Hmm. Do you walk around saying, I am a student of Mr. Smith? Um, and he says A, B, C, and D. I am a follower of Mr. Smith. He teaches history. No, I go to school, my teacher is such and such, and I can't wait to finish this class so I can move on up out of here. You don't follow them. You just learn what they have to offer and then you're out. Okay. That's all I want to say. I didn't mean to say that you are following them, but I hope that you're not. Okay. Yes. And that's another reason why a lot of people don't join the fraternal or the sororities or like the secret societies that are supposed to teach you occult knowledge because the pace that they go at sometimes it's too slow for people or they don't want to give you all the good juicy stuff until you know whatever. You don't need all those things. You know what I'm saying? I have ran into certain people that I have learned more on my own than they've been taught. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, that's more of, like a group. I have, I have pull here, I have rank here, so I can help you out when you need help in the court system, A, B, C, and D. But nowadays, all you got to do is buy a pin on Etsy and wear it, and they think you're in it. That's how it is now. So you don't need to join any of those groups. You don't need to follow anybody because they will lead you uh, into where they choose to lead you. Okay. Will the best thing, okay. Yeah. You should seek out your own divinity, you know. And if you think about it, who did the greats follow? Who did all the people that people follow? Did they follow somebody? Let's ask. No, they didn't. Most gurus even charge a fee to give you a mantra. Exactly. Yeah. They learn from a certain person or a group of people or different people here and there. They didn't follow anyone. Once you start following somebody, you're under their control. And you have no control over your destiny until you stop following people. Okay? Do I have a book that I recommend? I have many books that I recommend and recommend for what? I always recommend symbol books and alchemy books. Idiot's Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy and one of the symbol encyclopedias or dictionary. I recommend the Emerald Tablets of Thoth and the Corpus Hermeticum or the Way of Hermes. Okay, because this is what you need to understand what actually is going on to become divine. Okay, there's a difference between doing magic spells and witchcraft and things like that. And then there's a difference between being an alchemist and a divine being. Okay. Now, most people start off doing the spells. Most people start off learning the occult. Most people start off learning herbs, symbolisms, spells, manifesting and things like that. That's leading you up to a certain point. Okay. Once you get to that point and you need more, then alchemy comes in. Okay. Spiritual alchemy. After you learn the spiritual alchemy, which is very easy, that universal law is included in that, then you start learning the symbolism, which you should have been learning the whole entire time because in witchcraft and spell work, and all those things, you're also learning symbolism. So once you start learning all of these things, you're going to want more and more. Spell work is not going to be enough anymore. It's not going to satisfy that spiritual hunger. Okay. Yes, you're able to make things happen. Yes, you're able to manifest, but there's more. So once you're finished with that, once you've accomplished that, once you're good at that, and you're just, you're satisfied with how you are, then you move up into the divinity. Okay. You're a witch, then you become an alchemist. Okay. Then you become a goddess, a, div- a divine being. Hey, kitty, you going? It's like the pyramid, how they keep going up. You start off at this level, you come up to this level, you come up to this until there's only one brick at the top. That's the divine. That's your highest self. That's what you become. But so wherever you are in your journey now, just keep climbing. If you're just satisfied doing spell work, great. But make sure as you're doing that, you're also studying symbolism and what things mean, and you're looking things up and you're gathering knowledge along the way. Because once that is not enough for you anymore, you're going to start to seek other things. Like, oh, well, let me read about this alchemy stuff she keeps talking about. That sounds interesting. Okay. And all alchemy is self actualization, realizing you're divine. Okay. And it's mostly mental, teaches you how to manifest and grow and become a divine being, not just a witch, not just a practitioner of magic, not just a priestess, but a goddess. Okay. Uh, so when I say the word goddess, I don't mean somebody who should be worshipped. I mean the highest version of yourself in physical form. Okay. How do you not get overwhelmed with so much knowledge? Because I've been studying for years. Like since I was maybe in the fifth grade, when I first got my first book on the occult in the fifth grade, that's how long I've been reading, studying, um, doing things like this. Every day, I don't do stuff every day, but there was a point where I did. There was a point where every day I read something in a book. There was a point every day where I manifested and did a spell, and I still do spell for other people. There is a point where I teach online, like I'm doing now. I do something spiritual in everything I do. The type of places I stay, like the hotels that I choose, the places I choose to go, the things that I choose to buy, the music artists that I choose to listen to. I like to see things beyond the surface. Now, it doesn't seem like that, and that's the best way to be. When it doesn't seem that way. You know what I mean? But I can see about 20 steps ahead of what I'm actually doing. I can see that. And I can break it down to you after I've done it. You know what I'm saying? So, just like the simple hotel that I stayed in, I think I broke that down on my community section of YouTube. I broke down the address, the meaning of the street name, the longitude and latitude where the ley lines were at the hotel. Um, the meaning of the numbers on the address, the portal that was there, the largest crystal deposit in America. You know, I just, when you do certain things, it's always spiritual. You know, sometimes you just can't stay at the Marriott. That's what I put. Sometimes you got to go and stay somewhere where there is magic. Okay. A lot of Freemasons built those older places a long time ago, and they put magic into everything. They put occult knowledge into everything. Everything that they did was on purpose. Okay. So if you live like that on purpose and choose where you stay, where you go, what you represent, you know, you're going to be able to use that to create your own destiny. I don't tell James about that stuff because he's not there in his mental. All he's going to do is just zone out. So he don't need to know all of that. As soon as I start talking about, portals, he's gone. James is a very simple person. He's smart, he's intelligent, but he's not on that level of spirituality. And that's okay because he can't be. I need him to be in the mundane physical world for me so I can sit here and do what I do. Okay? James is my husband. Yeah, James is not woke. No, and that's for a reason. If he was woke, I couldn't do what I do. Need him to be out there for me. Okay? He don't want to be woke. Believe me. He likes his life just the way it is. He likes his beliefs just the way they are. He like doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. That's why it's so easy for me to do what I do because all he needs to do is go out and do what he needs to do. Why? Because even though he's a good guy, he's not divine. Not in his thinking anyway. That's why he's attracted to me because I am. Okay. No, James is a very positive person, so he does not manifest anything negative. He's a Sagittarius. By nature, they are very positive people, very optimistic. Okay. Very optimistic. So that's a plus. Now, if I would have got with someone negative, it wouldn't have gone so well. So very logical and optimistic. Those are good traits to have if you're not woke. Okay. So if you're with someone who is not conscious or aware or very spiritual, at least make sure that they're positive. Okay. And when people ask me to do stuff, I that's why I don't go around proclaiming to be anything but a normal average housewife. Okay, because I don't want people say, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do? I know I can't. I offer my services online, yes, but I don't announce what I do to everybody that I come in contact with. Why? And it's not that I don't, because everybody, my mom, my parents, my whole family knows what I do, but it's just when you meet people and they say, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm this, I'm that. The first thing people ask you is, can you read this? Can you read this? Can you read my aura? Can you read my? So I just don't bother. I'm an online consultant. That's what I do. Okay. So am I a part of a tribal descent? I am 10% Native American. I did my DNA. Yes. My DNA says that I'm 10% Native American. Probably most likely the Taino. Okay. Because my father's Puerto Rican. Okay. I'm saying this because I am feeling a heavy vibration right now with you. That's because I'm opening your pineal gland. The information you are hearing is resonating with you. That means your subconscious mind knows it as truth. Okay? Whenever you feel that feeling, it's because something is resonating with you very powerful and you need to listen to it. The same thing used to happen to me when I would hear something or read something or come across something that was profound. You're remembering what you already know exactly. Remember, your subconscious mind is connected to the cosmos, and to your subconscious mind knows everything. But you cannot have access to it But when you recognize something from it, your subconscious mind lets you know in subtle ways, like ding, 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 listen, pay attention. Okay. So that's what that is. Uh, you don't feel, I never felt that when I had to go to church as a child. I never felt it. Felt like sleeping, felt like getting up out of there. Okay. Um, Felt like, oh my God, what the heck? When is this gonna be over? Totally rejected church, even physically. Got sick. Okay, can't do it. Does James go to church? No. Um, does not go to church. How do you find out what angel's number means without Google? A book. So many scholars and scribes and occult researchers have done the research for you. You got to just go find the knowledge. Okay. They all mean the same thing. Numbers are patterns, numbers are information, numbers are codes. um, I don't think about past life karma. What do you think about past life credit debt? You gonna pay it? Because I can start a business right now and get rich. I will call you and say, "Hi, I'm psychic, and your name was Della Marie Smith in your former life, and you have a credit card debt of $8,462, and you need to pay that." Yes. Yes, your past life, you were Della Marie. Yes, you have credit card debt from that life you didn't pay. You died before you paid it. Oh, okay. So here's my bank account. Here's my, yes, write this down. PayPal me your money for your past life credit card debt. Thank you. Yes, I'm a collector from the spiritual world. That's what I think about past life karma. Okay, when you died and you came back and you were reborn, you was done. You was free. If you choose, like I said, everything is free will. Somebody told you that, didn't they? Did somebody tell you that? Did you read that in somebody's book? Did somebody tell you that? They have their own agenda. As long as you're busy paying past life karma, you can't get ahead in this life. Okay. They start way from the back. So go ahead and pay for your past life karma if you want to. Okay. I'm free. People don't even pay their current life karma or their current life bills. So you sit up here trying to be the good citizen. Like I said, there is no good or bad. There's only agenda. Okay. You got fooled. Don't even think about it. Now I don't care who told you that, who told them that. What did this say? You are divine. You have the power to create your own destiny. If you choose to listen and be misled by them other folks, your problem. Okay? That's why I feel like if more people did their own reading instead of following people, they would become divine a lot faster. You know, most of the people today do not read, do not seek knowledge in certain places, but listen to everybody and their mama and wonder why they can't do anything. Stop following people. Stop listening to people. We have our own agendas. Go read for yourself. I give you the books, you know. Um, don't take my word for it either. Go read it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Stop following people and listen to the people. Make up your own mind about stuff. Go read some stuff that they're not reading. What if you could teach them? What if you said, I don't believe that karma stuff. Let me go read that book Shira was talking about. Then you go and show them this and be like, look here, you might change their lives, you know? So make sure you're doing your own. That's why most of the time you see like spiritual people, you can relate to the Hermit Tarot card. You're always alone seeking knowledge. If when you choose to be around other people or whatever, great. But you shouldn't be learning from what other people think. You should be learning by where you're led to learn. Okay. If I was led to buy this book in a used bookstore in 2010, let it sit on the shelf, move 2 times before I even picked it up to read it because I didn't understand a word in it, but now I understand it perfectly. If I was led to buy this book all those years ago, move twice, read it, say, "But I don't understand this. This is weird." Put it down, look at it again. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Put it down. And now I can perfectly interpret it. That means I was meant to have this book and I was going to read it one day. I just got it at the time because it was there, you know. Um, it had Thoth on it. I knew Thoth. That's all I knew. I just, didn't understand a word of this book. But now I do. So sometimes you just have to let stuff happen. You just have to follow yourself. Let yourself be your guide, you know? Exactly. Stop listening to everyone because they don't know what you think they know. Just because they're old and, you know, just because they're older and maybe been a spiritual person and, this and that doesn't mean that is your path. Okay. Maybe you're divine and they're not. So how are you going to let someone not divine lead you? Okay. So lead yourself. Find out if you are divine. Most divine people lead themselves. They don't follow people. Yeah, I don't follow anybody. The closest I will get to ever following anybody is being a fan of a celebrity. But that's not following someone. That's just liking their work and interpreting it. That's about it. So steer your own ship. Wear your captain hat, like Beyonce. Be the captain. That's why you see a lot of captain references. You are the navigator. What do captains go by? Let's break this down. Why do you always see people with the captain hat on? You saw MJ with it. You saw Beyonce with it. Jay-Z's always talking about he the captain of his boat, his ship, whatever. Captain EO, Michael Jackson. Why are the people the captain? Why do they call it the captain? Who's the captain? Hi, Kitty.
Someone here, they missed you.
Okay. Thank you. You are the captain. And the captain is also what drives you. The captain is divinity, the source energy. Okay. The captain, if you're a captain of a boat, what do you go by? You got to know what the night sky looks like. Back in the old days, the stars. Exactly. So, yeah. The captain navigates by the constellations. Exactly. I don't know if y'all know this song, but I think it was What's it called? Lemon by Rihanna. She says her constellation is in space. Her constellation in space. Um, Now, is your constellation in space? Um, that means her destiny is already determined. She already made it. It's done. Okay. A cat found your way into your house and sleeps with you. What is her purpose with me? Oh, she loves you. Cats are very spiritual. I mean, they used to be worshipped as divine beings. So, um, look up the spiritual or symbolic meaning of a cat. Let's see, I'll look it up for you. Cat spiritual meaning. And for a cat to trust you like that, it's very significant. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Magical and godlike. See, told you. Already knew it. Just watch how they act. They act like gods and goddesses. Magical and godlike. Killing a cat was punished by death back in the ancient Egyptian days. Mhm. Okay. It also represents the ability to see in the dark. Okay, they got that night vision. Um, so I'll lead you there. You go find the rest. Okay. They see in darkness, and they're godlike creatures. They are divine. That's why a lot of witches use cats as familiars because they are direct connection. Now, I've had cats since I was a child. Since I was 3 years old, I've always had cats. Um, the only time I didn't have cats is when I got pregnant with Layla. I got dogs, but after they got old enough, I got cat again. I've had cats all my life. Why do you think most African Americans are scared of cats like you? You've been taught to fear cats. Okay, who taught you to fear cats? hmm Because when I was a child and I was 3 years old, I didn't fear anything at 3 years old. You fear what your parents are afraid of. You fear what other people fear because you react how they react, you know? So superstition, oh, cats are evil. Oh, cats are will kill you in your sleep. Oh, cats are possessed. Oh, cats are evil. So those superstitions probably scared your ancestors and scared their ancestors. I mean, their, offspring up until your family. And so the superstition was probably where you got that fear from. That's probably why. How can you use your cat to help you manifest? Well, that's why I got me a black cat. Because it's already dark. It's dark, it's black. It's godlike, goddess like. Hold the cat in your lap while you manifest. I put my crystal up to my cat's forehead and then I put it to mine. I use this. I made this, y'all. If y'all remember I made this a long time ago. And I actually just broke it, but I had to glue it back on. But it was a piece that I had glued on and it just fell. But anyway, this is my crystal flashlight wand. I think the battery's out. I need to replace the battery. But anyway, I just took a regular flashlight. I put some polymer clay around it and some twine and, made whatever. and I stuck a crystal in it. And there's a flashlight right underneath the crystal with a green, um, I colored the top of the flashlight glass green with green marker. And so the crystal shoot, you light it up, it's green. So you can use that for healing. You can use that for manifesting wealth, whatever, you know. Then I have the unk on there because it represents portals and different dimensions and life. And it's kind of like the mirror. You're manifesting in all dimensions, but the little arm just fell off, so I have to glue it back on. And, it has copper and batteries are made of copper. So this is the one that I made a while back. Kind of decorated. It was cute. Um, there. But I made it so that I can take the batteries out and replace. Mhm. Actually, I made one for someone and sold it to them a while ago, but I don't do those things anymore. But see, creating something like this is also a very conscious thing, you know, to construct all these things together for a purpose, you know, with the certain, you know, components and things. So that was before I knew a lot of stuff. I was just being creative, what was coming out of my subconscious mind, you know. Stephen Hawking's knew alchemy, of course. All the great minds knew alchemy, all of them. Thank you, Raven Priestess. You always love your chat. You always love my chats. Thank you. I appreciate the kind donation. Um, Shira, do you remember who you were in a past life, or do you never care to know? I know I've seen my past lives. I know about three of them uh, very clearly. Mhm. So, and a lot of other people do too. Like, now, a lot of people ask me why I chose my name to be Ashira Star Goddess. If you research Ashira, you will understand. I'll just say that. You look up her picture online. If you look up all that, you'll understand. Um, I don't know why. Someone sent me a picture of Ashira, and I adopted it right away. But if you go read Ashira, read what Ashira stood for, what she represented, who was obsessed with her, not obsessed, but who worshipped her, who allowed her to be worshipped. Go read all of that, especially if you're on my other channel. Go read all of that. It's going to all make sense. I promise you. Okay. Look it up with an H at the end. Put an H on the end of Ashira, how I spell it, and look it up. Okay. Um, See, the point, make a mystery school. The point of this is we don't need a mystery school anymore because society these days, they're preoccupied. You don't need to hide this anymore. People are so lazy. You could talk about this stuff right in front of them, and they won't look twice. They'll be like, anyway. So what happened on Housewives of Atlanta yesterday? They don't care. You can talk about this stuff in the open now. You're not going to be you're not going to be shamed or kicked out of your secret society, your school, because it's everywhere. If The people are like, yes, truly asleep. I can go up and talk for 30 minutes on a video, and all people are going to ask me is, my candle burned down. What does this mean? Okay. So it's not for everybody, not yet. And we're at different times, In 1 year, you might be ready. In 2 years, you might come back to this video and be like, that's what she was talking about. Some people aren't ready right now. And that's why the videos are going to stay up for whenever anybody needs them. Because when I bought this book, I was not ready. I promise you. I moved twice since I had this book, and I just opened it up a couple months ago. Maybe last year. Just opened it up. Okay. So you might be listening. It might be resonating. You might be vibrating, but you might need to come back, just like the Emerald Tablets. You read that thing 50 times and still see something new. Mm-hmm. And whatever you're being pulled towards right now, that's what you need to be learning. If you're not pulled towards this, click on another video. Learn something that you're pulled towards, because you got to stay interested. You have to stay interested in order to stay thirsty for knowledge. Um, Sagittarius has some type of energy, some dark energy. Your name is James, manifests with you. I got a husband named James, and he's also a Sagittarius. I guess I got it. But thank you for the offer. If I was single, maybe I'd take you up on it, depending on certain things. Okay. Yeah, James and I were both Jupiter. Our planets are both Jupiter. But he is fire and I am water. Okay. The perfect alchemy relationship. Even though he don't know nothing about it, it works for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's best that some people don't understand. Mhm. I only use astrology when the person that I'm dealing with is controlled under. Does that make sense? Because some people aren't controlled by their astrology sign. Like me, I'm not. James is, because I recognize my divinity. I'm controlling my own destiny. He's following and in the mundane and things that's already laid out, basically. He creates his own, yes, he creates his own destiny. He believes in law of attraction and stuff, but he believes in that plan, the plan, that plan that everybody talks about that doesn't really exist. So as long as he is on that path, I can use his astrology to predict his patterns. But since I'm no longer on that, my patterns are not being able to be predicted by astrology. Now, I still might have some of the tendencies when I need to have them on purpose for certain reasons, but I am not controlled by any of the astrological things. Okay. How did I like my new alchemy book? I like it. I'm still reading it because I like to read it when I really feel like I need to read it. But I've read a lot of stuff that really makes really good sense. You know, a lot of profound moments in that book, definitely. hmm The alchemy book is called Becoming an Alchemist. That's what it's called by somebody. Her name starts with a C. It's downstairs. I don't have it up here. Um, you had a dream about aliens, the ones trying to take you. Okay. Well, the book says, we're hybrids basically. We're hybrids. We have the same blood, DNA, marrow as certain spirits and creators and gods or whatever. So, you have their same powers. You have their same connection if you choose to be. If you choose to, you know. Um Okay, think about this. Let me ask you guys a question. Anybody who has started studying alchemy, who understands universal law and alchemy and all that good stuff, and they're not usually losers. Okay, let's talk about it. Have you ever met someone that practiced alchemy, studied alchemy and laws of universal law, applied them? Have you ever met someone who was unsuccessful that did that? Even in my level up group, they might not understand it, but they're in a form of transformation, you know. Mhm. So you're not going to meet anyone like that because it works. And once you start, implementing those things into your life and start living as a divine being, you can create whatever you want. There are limits because of your mind and how you were raised and your subconscious fears and things like that, but you still can be successful. That's what I'm saying. You have to feel like you deserve what you're actually manifesting as well. For example, um you can't just, okay, I want to manifest to be a billionaire in 2 weeks. Okay, now how are you going to handle being a billionaire when you've never even made 5 figures or 6 figures or 7 figures? How are you going to handle that? Are you going to know what to do? Are you going to go insane? Are you going to go crazy? Are you going to lose your money because you don't know how to be a millionaire first or a thousandaire? So you got to use common sense as well when manifesting, when using universal law, when using alchemy. You can't just, oh, I want to, a jet, but you don't even have a driver's license. You don't know how to drive. Okay. So use common sense as well. Okay. If all you care about is money, you are not spiritual. That's not all I care about. But even in alchemy, you manifest on earth certain things. What can you manifest on earth? What are you going to manifest on earth that's super spiritual? Let me ask you that. How are you going to create the life that you like without money? You need money to create your freedom. Duh. Freedom is spiritual. Am I sitting up here talking about Versace and Louis Vuitton? No, I'm talking about freedom. If you were connected, you would see that. Most people want freedom. You're not free. If you work for somebody, you punch a clock, you ask to go to the restroom, you're not free. Get free. That's what money can help you do, or at least be freer than you are. Free enough to read a book, free enough to discover your divinity. That's very spiritual, you know. So, money is just like energy. Whatever you use it for is up to you. Okay? So, I am spiritual. Maybe you need to go back and recalculate what things are. There is no good or bad. Everything is a tool, and money is energy. hmm hmm Right. I didn't even say anything about money. I said you can't just manifest $1 billion if you don't know how to handle $1 million. I was using that as an example, you know? And money is actually compared to dark energy or dark matter in Complete Idiot's Guide to uh, Alchemy. That's the one thing on earth that can get you what you want, that can make things appear in front of you. Okay? So it is very similar to the dark energy and the dark matter in the physical world, you know? So if I want to be spiritual and meditate all day and, sit in a meadow and contemplate the universe, but I have bills to pay, kids to feed, things like that. Being spiritual is not going to do that. But being connected and creating the life that I choose in order to have that freedom without having to worry about money, that's spiritual. Why is the pyramid on the dollar? The all-seeing eye pyramid is on the dollar because it says, "In God we trust." Okay, let me tell y'all why it's on the dollar. Because interpreting using alchemy, when they say God, they don't mean God. They mean in the universe, in the darkness, in my connection and consciousness, I am able to manifest as a God. I trust in my ability, in my divineness to manifest what I need. Okay? Think about it. If people go to church, what they praying for? Money. What pastors are asking for in church? Money. What are they asking? What are they begging for on them commercials with them sad looking animals? Money. The world works with money. Okay? They're not asking you to come and walk 5 dogs a day. They want your money. They're not asking you to send 5 pounds of dog food to this address. They want your money. Okay? Money is energy to be transmuted into whatever they needed to be transmuted into at that time to help their particular situation manifest on 3D Earth. Okay? So it is the closest thing spiritually to being able to manifest as the divine. Okay? Now y'all can that's not true. Who told you that money wasn't spiritual? Why do you think In God We Trust is on it with the pyramid with one eye? That's your ability to manifest this paper money, this cash in order to get whatever you need and want. Okay? Why do you think they put it on the bills instead of the coins? Why do you think it's on paper? Why do you think there's words on it? Why do you think there's symbols in it? That's what I thought. Why do you think there are symbols and drawings and hidden meanings on dollars? That is a mystery, isn't it? It's alchemy. That's what it is. Those who understand money will have money. Sasha, I need your help. I'm going to get her to give me some money. I need some money.
You have enough money, Mom.
Bring me $1 from over there. A real dollar.
Okay. What do you mean?
I just need $1 so I can show something.
Thank you. Okay, Mom.
Just give me.
Here's $1 and here's $1.
Thank you, baby. Love you. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Come on, Kibu. Let's go. I did so far.
That is beautiful. A lion.
I'm not done with it yet. There's still some spaces.
Do you know that Ashura is over lions? Bye-bye.
Yes. I know. I am underneath you.
Leo. The sun. Bye-bye. Divinity. Cats. Okay. All right, so here's some dollars. Let me break it down to you guys. Okay. And wit. I'm so blind. Okay, so I was trying to read something. So here's the dollar. In God we trust, and then there's some alchemy. The Great Seal. Okay. Then it says of the United States. Da, 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 da. You got the 1 and the 4 corners. You got the 4 corners. You got the 1. In God we trust. You got the dollars. You got the green. You got ley lines all over this thing. I see ley lines. I'm sorry. This is, if you look on a map, this is energy. You see, look at this. The web. Energetic web. A current. A currency. Okay. Then you have the pyramid and the all-seeing eye, which is the higher self, the third eye, the consciousness connected with the divine. That's why it's not connected to the body of the pyramid, because it is ascended upon divinity. Okay. And so that basically means, I'm going to look up what this means in Latin, because I never really looked it up. Here it is. Annuit coepitus means signals enterprise. Okay. Above Great Seal of the Eye. I knew it. It means favor our undertakings. It also represents God has favored our undertakings. You know why? Because they've figured out their divinity. They have the connection. It's not good or bad. It's what you make it. Okay? If this represents God or the universe or the force, the energy, the source has favored our undertakings and given us money because we manifested it, then so be it. Give me some more. This is the key to my freedom. This is going to get me wherever I need to go. Get me whatever I want. It's going to manifest the things physically that I want on the planet. Okay? Because I'm favored. Because I am connected. That's what it is. Right, Kitty? Come on. The cat agrees. Come on, Kitty. Yes. The dollar. Yeah. But see, the 1 is the most important because it is the 1. Okay. All numbers go right back down to 1. Okay. There you go. Everything starts from this 1. Okay. You can't have 100 without this. And who do they put on there? George Washington. Go figure out who George. Look up the meaning of George Washington's name. This is how you got to look at stuff. Like George name meaning. I know he's the first president. Not really, but the first recorded president. Yeah, he was a Freemason. Da, da, da. It means struggled with the fire-breathing dragon, symbolizing the devil, George, Saint George. Okay, that means the one who defeats the. It also represents farmer or earth worker, working. What do farmers do? They plant, they manifest, and they harvest. Right? You plant a seed, you get the fruit. Okay. It also represents the one who defeats the dragon, like overcoming the lower nature of yourself, becoming divine. Okay. I'm just telling y'all what George means. Okay. Let's see what Washington means. This cat. Because everything is strategic. And I'm trying to tell you guys. This is how you break down everything. Even if you have no idea and you're just doing it for fun because you're bored. This is something you should do. Instead of sitting here watching TMZ or whatever. Okay, so let's see what Washington means. Blah, 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 blah. There's like, it means something from England. Home of Wassa people in England. Wassa. And they were farmers. Okay. Gotta look up Wassa people now. God darn it. See, it just keeps leading you on a journey until you get to the bottom. What's a Wassa people? What's Wassa people? Oh, gosh. Wassa. What the Wassa? Let me put Wassa. English. England. See, it goes all the way back. Oh God, you gotta like do a little bit of research. So it represents Wassa people. And let me put Wassa people. And in England. How about that? So yeah, this is just how you do symbolism. You just break down stuff just like I'm doing. So basically it's saying the Wassa people are farmers that producers of gold and cocoa. Okay. Originally from Ghana. Maybe I don't know. I gotta go into the coat of arms what this means. But Wassa people are also from Ghana. Blah 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 blah. It's spelled with different languages. Basically farmers, people that planted things and harvested things. But in Ghana, producers of gold and cocoa. So, that might be reaching a little bit, but still, you got to research other stuff too. There's also 100, like on the bottom, like right here. 1 of 100. Okay. So in order to have 100, you got to have this first. Okay, so let me Hour. Do y'all have any questions? Sorry it took me so long. I'll get into my little research sometimes. I'm sure there's people that can break down the dollar bill like nobody's business. I think I've seen a few videos on it. And yeah. Right, Kitty Boo? The all-seeing eye is hidden knowledge. Yes, in an aspect, it also represents your divinity. Afterlife consciousness might look like beyond this one. So you create whatever you want after this. You can either go where you're assigned to go, where you think you're supposed to go, or you can create your own afterlife. You can create your own version of heaven. You can create your own universe. You can reincarnate as you want to come back on this plane. It's whatever you choose. You're divine. You're a creator, so it's whatever you want. If you can't wrap your mind around it, be able to before you die. Okay? Why? Because you're going to follow someone else's information after you're dead and create whatever they told you. And that's what it's going to be. So you are a creator. Create what you want. And I've discussed this so many times. Read the beginning of the Bible. In the beginning, there was darkness. Create what you want. Yes, you create whatever you want after that. Now, so here's an example. When you leave here, you're still leaving people behind. Love, let me tell you all about love. How they say love is the most powerful force. Love will keep you from doing that. Love will keep you wanting to help guide the people you're leaving behind. That's where the ancestors come in. Okay. Now, let's just say if everybody you know is dead, that moved on to wherever, or they'll be fine, or you weren't too close to your family, or you don't care what happens to them, and you just want to go and create your own whatever, then go create it. But if you have children, especially women, you have children and you want to look after them, make sure they're okay, guide them spiritually, still be around in that aspect. Maybe you choose to stick around as a spiritual guide. Maybe you choose to reincarnate. Maybe you choose to wait for them so that you can guide them. Maybe you choose to appear to them in their dream, and all that good stuff. Maybe you create more versions of you to do that while you move on and create. It's up to you. You're the goddess. You're the god. Okay. Do you believe that everyone born is reincarnated? I think some people are, and maybe some people are new, but energy recycles. So maybe they just don't remember. But as far as ancestor worship, I don't believe in worshiping anything. I believe in honor. There's a difference between worshiping and honoring. If you worship something, that means you are not divine yourself. I'm divine, so I cannot worship anything else. I can honor that. I can give acknowledgement to it. I can find value in it. I can benefit from certain things, but I can't worship something. Mhm. That means I'm putting something above me. Don't need to put anything above me. I don't need to follow anything. I'm creation. I'm creator. of my own destiny. So I can't worship anything. You understand? Okay, so mhm, but I can honor it. I can pay homage to it. I can respect it. I can learn from it, but I can't worship it. Hey, you're back. Okay. You create your own verse. Exactly. So do you think you can still help on earth once you are gone? If you no, I don't think you create. That's where you gotta get your mind. There is no choice. It's free will. Do you want to? That's the question. Do you want to create? Do you want to help on earth? Then do it. Mhm. It's not a question. It's do you want to do it or not? Uh, your choices are infinite, and so is your creativity. So if you want to help on earth and create another version of yourself to help on earth, while the other version of yourself, because we are living in a multi universe with alternate realities. So there's more than one of you. Create another one to go do this. You stay behind and look after your family, but create another one to keep on creating. Infinite possibilities. That's seventh dimension. You coming back as James? You so silly. This is heavy. But it's once you realize what you are, it's not heavy anymore. That's the point you got to get to. That's you got to come out of this human concept of thinking and start thinking as a god or goddess or a divine being. You can't think like a human anymore spiritually. Yeah, I can act like a human all day. I can talk trash. I can troll with the best of them. I can be very petty, but I also know who I am. Y'all know how they have certain deities that petty and tricky and do stuff like this. They enjoy the earth just as much as they do the spirits, the spiritual realm. Okay. So that's why a lot of people do their offerings to spirits. They enjoy the earthly things just as well as the spiritual things. Um, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Exactly. So if anyone is reincarnated, then it never had a beginning. So here's the thing: there is no good or bad. There's only divinity and realization and creation. What creating what you want. There's agenda, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If you don't recognize your divinity and you follow behind something and you can't change anything because you're not even in control of yourself, then, stop complaining. Either become divine or shut up and follow everybody else. Okay? Um, I know that's a rude way to put it, but it's just so true. Like, look, either you master yourself and become a god or goddess or divine being, or shut up and follow behind whoever's leading you. That's why you see a lot of great people who were never political. I don't follow politics. I don't do this. I don't let someone determine my future. I don't let people lead me. A lot of people would never vote. They didn't believe in that kind of stuff because that person does not determine that other person's future at all, ever. A lot of people were coming to me like last year talking about, oh, what do you think is going to happen now that, Trump is president? Nothing going to happen to me. I'm still going to be living good. you know, I know he's done a lot of horrible things. And like I said, they have different agendas. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who you are and you can't control your universe, your world, you're going to get caught up and you're going to be controlled by other people. People that are heavily stuck in religion, they are the most controlled group of people in the world. hmm So if you really think about it, the people that are being really targeted are very religious. People aren't really being targeted, they're not religious at all. They think they say what they want, they voice their opinions, they lead themselves, they don't look for leaders, they create whatever they choose. They have free will. Those beings are never affected because they're not looking for a savior. They're not looking for someone to help them. They're not looking for equality. They're divine. They don't need to be equal to somebody that's following somebody else. Okay? Become divine. And all those problems won't even bother you. You'll be too high up. Okay? Exactly. You said there's no bad, but contradicted yourself by saying Trump is doing horrible. I said that's his agenda. It's horrible, yes. But like I said, that's his agenda. And the only way that happened is because he was followed. Okay? Let's think about it. It's horrible, but I didn't say good or evil. I just said it's horrible. Okay? I wouldn't want it to happen to me. But let's say when I say something is not good or evil, that means you're not going to be judged for it. Especially if you don't think it's wrong yourself. So if you don't think it's wrong, he's not going to be judged for it because you judge yourself. So basically, what I was trying to say is when he was being followed and people voted for him and got him into office and this and that, he needed followers to create his agenda. He couldn't have had this agenda without followers. That's why I'm saying stop following people. Okay? I'm seeing it from multiple perspectives. Exactly. He don't have no followers, he can't get in office. He can't get in office, he can't do what he's doing. You need followers. You need people that look for saviors. You need people that don't see themselves as divine. You need people that need him. You know what I'm saying? If most people were conscious and awake and connected to, source energy, there wouldn't be any type of president. You know what I'm saying? It would just be a job it would just be a job just like any other job. You wouldn't have to get voted in. You just have to qualify for the job at hand. You get whatever that needs to be done, and you don't get to make those type of decisions. The people will make them because they don't need a leader. And unfortunately, so many people are lazy, still heavily tied into religion and stuck in their old way of thinking that they need a leader to lead them. So that's why that system is still in place. But a lot of people don't even participate in it anymore. So the Bible says that people found it in their hearts to appoint a king. That's because they didn't know what to do. They needed a leader because they're not connected. And a long time ago, royalty was supposed to be connected. So just like a priest in the Catholic Church, you can't go to God directly in the Catholic religion. You got to go through the priest. Right? Because you're not connected. You're a follower. Okay? You can't change anything yourself. You got to go through a politician and then vote for him and hope he does what you want him to do. It's the same concept. So, or you can just skip the whole thing, whole middleman, and go manifest the life you desire and become divine yourself. Okay? Because, that's what it is. You don't depend on nobody. You don't look what they're doing. What are you doing? Okay? Mhm. They even teach meditation in school. Uh-huh. Well, that's a good start. Only you can save you. Exactly. You know, just like with legal things. Y'all know the legal system is messed up. You got to know to work that. It's not who's right or who's wrong. It's who you know, what judge you know, what lawyer you know, how cute you look standing there in front of that judge. It's about all of that. It's not about what's right or wrong. It's about how the jury sees you because it's all through human eyes. Okay. Um, if you know symbolism, if you know body language, if you know hypnosis, you're gonna come out with the exact verdict that you want. Okay. Would you put a hypnotist or a magician in a courtroom and ask and think you're gonna get a fair trial? Mm-mm. Why not? They're just a person. They can influence the whole entire jury. How do they know that you don't study these things when you go in there? They don't. Like I said, it's up to you. What you got? What do you bring? What you bringing? What is your divinity? What can you do? You know, you sitting on there depending on these people. Work. Okay, do your work. Learn 48 laws of power, laws of seduction, hypnosis. Get in that courtroom and do your stuff, child. Okay, and when you walk out, you walking out with what you wanted. The whole courtroom is magic. The whole courthouse is magic. Marble everywhere. That's crystal. Your frequency, you know. Mhm. Work your magic. What will I create after this life? Oh, we've already discussed it, me and my children. Mhm. Um, mhm. It's sort of like a movie, you know. If you're someone that makes movies, you know, you're telling a story, you're creating a movie, you're making characters. Um, it's sort of like that. You making a movie. What do you want your movie to be? Do you want it to be continuous? Do you want to make more than one movie? Do you want to wait for people to work with you? Do you want to work together as one? Do you want to work individually? What do you want to do? It's up to you. Um, my cat has an agenda too. Yes. Kitty. It involves treats. Kitty. So only with like-minded, yeah. You know what is good? Figure that out before you die. Figure out what you want to create. If you're going to stay behind, if you're going to create another version of yourself to stay and help, you know, look after your children or relatives or whatever, uh, start thinking about that now because when it's time, it's going to be automatic. You know how I have a manifesting journal? Have an afterlife journal. The Egyptians carved the heck out of some afterlife. Okay, come on, food digger. Think about that. The ancestors, the Egyptians, the anything that pertains to any type of afterlife was carved in detail. This cat that swiped a tree. Do the same thing. Why can't you do it? Why are you sitting around trying to figure out what's going to happen when you can create it? And I'm only talking like this because I don't want it to seem like I know all the answers. I'm just saying you have free will and you're a creator. Create your own afterlife. Do what you got to do. Do what you want to do. Maybe we are somebody's afterlife. Well, anyway, hi, kitty boo. Now go create your own. We're sitting here sitting here reading the Bible about somebody creating their afterlife. In the beginning, it was some darkness. Now you can go do the same thing. Okay. Here, kitty. Ah. Okay, so if you ask what happens after you die, but you're divine, are you really divine? And people will argue with you all day long. I had a near-death experience and I saw A, B, and C. Yeah, because you were programmed to see it. That's what you were expecting to see. That's what your mind created because somebody told you that's what was there. Here, kitty boo. So also remember that. So take someone who's never heard of religion, and when they have their near-death experience, ask them, what did you see? They're going to see whatever they were taught. Here, kitty, or something close to it. This cat is crazy. So, for example, so maybe you want to hang on to your religion and you like the concept that they came up with for you, and you accept it, and you go to this out. You create this heaven or whatever in your afterlife. This is it, kitty. This is it. And you go and enjoy it. That was someone else's creation for you. You're still following, even in the afterlife. You didn't even create your own. Just kitty. Or what was programmed for you to believe? Yes, exactly. Hell is not a place, it's a state of mind or being. I hear about creating my own reality, but afterlife, if you can lucid dream and you can manifest in this world, what makes you think you can't do it in the afterlife? If you listen to the Lord's Prayer and you break it down, and symbolically, it tells you. You're a creator everywhere you go. You're a creator. You're a manifester and creator in your dreams, in this life, and the afterlife. If you don't believe it, then you're just going to be a follower in there too. That's why, yes, hell exists for those who believe it. Why? Because you've created it. You were told there was a hell, so you believe in it. Exactly. If you're living in fear of going to hell, so you're trying to be this type of person, and that's the only reason you're being good, are you really being a good person? Or are you just living in fear? That's my question. Do you hope to be rewarded after you die? Are you looking for some type of reward? Is that the only reason you're doing right by whoever you're doing right by? So I think the most easily manipulated and controlled people are religious people because they're trying to get brownie points and they're doing everything for reward and punishment, just like a trained animal. That's why I like cats, because you can't train these things. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they want to do. Right, Velvet? You're just as religion and dogmatic about your views as anyone in religion. No, I'm not. I'm saying you're free. You have free will and do what you want. Do people tell you that in religion? Who tells you that? That's not my views. It's just alchemy. That's universal law. Mm-hmm. If you're sitting here, I need to learn how to astral travel. I need to learn how to control my dreams. I need to learn how to manifest. Oh, but when I die, it's set in stone. I can't do anything there in the afterlife. Why not? You can do it here in your dreams. Why you can't do it there? You got the same consciousness. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. If you're divine, you create your own. You're a creator. So you have the power if you just accept it. That is the one. That's one of the things that hold people back. They can't accept their divinity. They need to remain human for some reason. They don't know what to do with all that power. They're afraid of themselves. Mm-hmm. According to our ancient Nubian ancestors, heaven and hell are mythological places that reside inside the body of man. It's called higher self and lower self. Exactly. They want to belong. Exactly. Belong to what, though? Somebody else's plan. They want to belong to someone else. You're kidding. I don't want to belong to somebody else. I don't want to be a part of nobody else's agenda unless it matches my own. You know, we can have similar agendas. And I don't expect anybody to worship me, not even my own kids or anybody. I just call myself a goddess because that means I'm divine in my thinking. And my consciousness has nothing to do with being worshipped. You know, it's a self-proclamation. It's a self-actualization. It's a, what do you call it? It's a recognition of your divinity in human form. That's it. You know how people say, oh, I recognize the God in you. I recognize the God in you. I recognize the divine in you. Namaste. Namaste. That's all that is. Y'all be walking around saying namaste. There you go. I just say I'm a goddess. Namaste this. Right? Isn't that what that means? I see the light in you, the sun, the light, the divinity, the connection to the source. I see the goddess in you. I see the God in you. AKA, I'm a goddess. AKA, you're a god and a goddess. You're divine. Right? So that's all that means. If you can't tell people namaste and then say, oh, you shouldn't call yourself a goddess because it's the same thing. or God. Even that word, you don't even have to use the word goddess or God. You can say, I'm divine. Mhm. What's worse, a child who's afraid of the dark or a religious spiritual grown-up that comes across some absolute truths and is afraid of the light? Some absolute truth that is afraid of the light. The light is not real. Okay. Being afraid of the darkness means you don't know what darkness is, because most people aren't afraid of the dark until they've been taught to be afraid of the dark. So it's just a brainwashing. Okay. So any other questions? It's been 2 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Mhm. Right. People who are scared of the dark tend to hide stuff in it or is afraid of the unknown, I feel. Hmm. Afraid of new knowledge. What if you astral traveled without even trying? Most people do. It's a natural thing. Most children do. Um, Wow, people are afraid of what they don't understand. So true, exactly. Duality, there has to be light and dark, but darkness creates the light. Can't close your eyes. Now imagine some light. Imagine a laser light beam streaking across. You could see it, right? Because you created that. Now open your eyes. See darkness. See darkness. Open your eyes and see darkness. Hmm. You can create light, but you cannot create darkness. It's already there. You can create through the darkness, in the darkness, with the darkness, but you can't create darkness. It's already there. Close your eyes. You can create light. Open your eyes. You can't create darkness. There you go. Light comes from darkness. Hi, kitty. Row, row, row. There you go. There's no way around that. Right, kitty? So, only light can penetrate light. I learned that in church. That's because it came from darkness. Okay. Mhm. Because only a light is an illusion. It is a spectrum. It's not a matter. They have dark matter, but they don't have light matter. Okay. So darkness moves faster than light. Exactly. We're doing, yeah, I believe we are energy and I am using mine, not worshiping. Exactly. Um, the universe is 96% dark matter. Yes, it's mostly dark matter. Only light can penetrate dark. Dark cannot penetrate light. I am so sorry. I'll shut up. Only light can penetrate dark. That's not true. Okay, go shine a flashlight into outer space. I'll wait. You can't. It fades. Light has an end. Light has an expiration date. Yeah. Okay, great. Black hole swallows light. There you go. Wow. And scientifically, light vibrates lower than darkness. Vibrates slower than darkness. Let's just say that. So it is a byproduct of the darkness. In 3D Earth, in duality Earth, on Earth, through the light spectrum and the sun, we have light only. That sun burns out because it has an expiration date. We stuck in darkness once again, and it's over. Until the darkness creates a new sun. Science thinks black holes do more than swallow light. I do too. So y'all can't, like I said, people have told you so much stuff, you believe it, and you don't even think for yourselves anymore. You're just regurgitating what someone said. Think really hard. Go to science. Go to alchemy. Go to universal law. Stop repeating stuff you hear and go and research. Mm-hmm. Black hole is a womb for the universe. I think time travel occurs in black holes. I thought about that before science, and we went to the same conclusion exactly. So no matter how you try to spin it, light came from the darkness, and they are not equals. No matter what you try to say, it's not equal. Okay? Science proves that. Even in the Bible, light was created by God from darkness. Exactly. So that darkness, you're connected to consciously when you become divine, and you can create and manifest with that. You know, you're in charge of the light. You know how they called Lucifer the light bearer? And they called Jesus the son of man, the Christ consciousness. The light bearer is an illusion. Light is an illusion. You know how they say the devil is a lie? You know, Rick Ross? Illusion. Light is an illusion. So if you take the Bible and try to interpret it, and it's like God gives Lucifer the dominion over the earth. God gives light dominion over earth. Think about this. The spectrum. Do you know that there's some people that have an eye a disorder where they can see other colors that don't exist in this spectrum? They can see beyond this spectrum. I forgot what it's called. There's very few humans that can see other colors that aren't even there. So basically, if you decode the Bible in alchemy and symbolism, if God gave Lucifer dominion over the earth, Lucifer means light bearer. What bears light? Okay. It said, and then the sake. God gave his only son to sacrifice son, or gave his only son to save you as your savior. This is your savior, your own son, your own pineal gland, your connection with the divine. Now, I'm not a preacher. Y'all know I'm not religion based. I don't take anything in the Bible literal. It's all metaphor. It's all alchemy. It's all metaphysics. So if you break down any part of the Bible that says, "Oh, when Jesus says, when someone says, 'Oh, are you God's son, or are you the son of God?'" Jesus was like, "The Father and I are not separate. That means we got this connection. I can do what I can do. I am divine." Okay. So people took everything too literally back then. People had to speak in codes, just like they do now with symbolism. Okay. So everything you're reading is not literal. So Jesus was not a Christian. He didn't want y'all worshiping him. Okay. The church did that. Even if he is not real or real, it doesn't matter. He didn't want you worshiping him. He was trying to teach you stuff. And since they didn't want people being free, they told them, "Oh, he's your savior. Follow him. Follow him." Because people were being freed. Okay. Yeah, exactly. He was teaching how to be free, and the church didn't like it. So they said, "Follow him," and then stuck him in the Bible. So that would be, I would be so pissed if I was Jesus, and if Jesus really existed, and if I was Jesus and they did that to me, I would come back and haunt them, destroy everything. Remember how they said Jesus was going to come back and destroy the church? I would too, because they done messed it up. They lied on him. So if you were on that religious path, you got to think of it like this. Jesus wouldn't want you to be no Christian. That would be totally against everything he taught if you are truly paying attention. Hmm. That would be like me dying and Garage Well saying that I was her number one fan and her best friend, and that I learned everything from her. Okay? That's not what it was. So remember that. People will twist everything and have you walking backwards in the opposite direction of where you thought you were going in the first place. That's why I say use your own mind. Don't follow nobody. Do not follow people. I'm being messy. I'm just saying that would be the equivalent. You don't think I'm coming back and setting the record straight in some type of form or fashion? Ah, so all them people being exposed in the church. Okay. You love when the Southern comes out. Yep, got that southernness. So yeah, that's basically all it is. Don't follow anyone. Do your own research. You are divine. It's in here. If y'all are coming in late, is in the Corpus Hermeticum, book 16. The last page. Actually, the whole thing, but I just only want to touch on a few things. But it's saying you're divine. Don't follow nobody. Use the dark energy. You are divine. You are creator. You have free will. Only people that follow other like-minded gods with their own agenda are misled. Okay. So, what book is this? It is The Way of Hermes, aka the Corpus Hermeticum. This should be in the group if you're in my group. If not, it is the new translations of the Corpus Hermeticum. Okay. And you have to understand these are you have to be able to interpret what these things mean. So when I broke down the emerald tablets, some of those, the sun doesn't mean the sun. Okay. It means this, your consciousness, your pineal gland. The dark doesn't mean the dark. It means your subconscious mind. So when you read this, you also have to keep that in mind. Okay. That's how they kept knowledge hidden back in the days. So you'd be looking at the sun and the sky instead of within. Mm-hmm. You know how they say, oh, the Egyptians worshiped the sun god, Ra. They were worshiping the stars and the sun and da 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 da. Mm-hmm. That's so you wouldn't be worshiping. That's because they didn't want you to know what they were really doing. Okay. Oh, there's some beams coming down and going into their head or coming out of their head. Yeah. That's the divine connection with the source energy. They're not worshiping the sun. Okay. Oh, so gotta understand that. All right. I can't find a book. Which book? Are you in the group? Mm-hmm. Brother Polite versus Hebrew Israelites is the most hilarious thing ever. I don't even worry about them. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about them. There is okay. Speaking of that, getting caught up in certain types of consciousness is called the realm of. It's like the realm of lies or the realm of deceit. Okay, your consciousness to a point, then you start veering off into the realm of deceit. Okay, you're letting certain things get in the way of your divinity. You start veering off some crazy stuff that doesn't make you any better. Okay, you're not getting closer to your divinity, you're getting further away from it when you start trying to focus on cultural matters and um, stuff like that. You're starting to become deceived. So you got to stay on the correct path to divinity. Don't stop and get stuck along the way. You're going to get stuck there arguing about whether you need a passport or a social security number when you're supposed to be focusing on your divinity. Okay? Don't get stuck worrying about, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck in conspiracy either. Don't get stuck in Illuminati stuff. That is to distract you from your divinity. Don't get stuck there. Look at it and keep it moving. Then come back to it and break it down, analyze it, and tell people what it's all about once you reach your divinity. Because you're never going to see it until you're divine. You're never going to see what it is anyway until you have reached divinity. Then you can come back and break it on down. Okay? Don't get stuck there. You know how people are on a journey and they veer off and get distracted and they veer off and get distracted and they never even get to their destination because they over here arguing about some stupid stuff. You never made it to your destination. Don't get stuck. I know a lot of people are stuck and it's hard to get them unstuck. because they think that's all consciousness is some history. Consciousness is not history. It's not lies. It's not history. Divinity is not that. Okay. If you and I'm going to tell you this. If you can't make money on whatever you know, if you can't sit and relax and do what you and barely do anything, if you cannot manifest what you want on this planet with history, you're not divine. You can't apply all that stuff you done memorized. You're not divine. Hmm. Do I truly believe in spell casting? I have free will to believe in whatever I choose to believe and create on this planet. So, of course I do. You know, if you do, hmm you have free will. Exactly. And you will have authority over certain things that other people don't. And I don't like to say this because people are going to be like, oh, whatever, whatever. You'll see. That's all I'm going to tell you. Those of you who have already reached divinity already know this. Mhm. Okay. If you don't know what Bible means, you're not Christian either. Biblios. Mhm. Okay. Is there such thing as harnessing too much energy? It's like saying, what is your purpose for harnessing this energy? Do you think there's a such thing as harnessing too much energy in the back of your subconscious mind? Is there any repercussion or side effect from doing this in your subconscious mind? Because everything is up to you. Mhm. Are casting spells mastering the law of attraction? Nope. Casting spells are it's another form of manifesting with physical in the physical. Mhm. How do you tap into your natural power? Know who you are, learn about it. It's almost like, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you act different if you knew you had $1 million in the bank versus you're broke? Would you act different? Let's ask. This is the same. This is how you answer that question. Would you walk around? Would you act different if you were a millionaire? Yes, I would definitely be able to spend. Even if you weren't spending any money, would you carry yourself different? Would you have a different attitude? Yes. So have that attitude. You wouldn't act different. What if somebody stepped to you? What if someone said, Psh, what if somebody tried to say some mean things to you? What would you do then? Mhm. What about the people that aren't spiritual and don't even know about the laws of the universe and are successful? They subconsciously know and they're probably very positive people. Okay. So it's almost like rolling dice. If you're not conscious and you're not seeking knowledge, but you're a positive person, you're going to strike success sometimes. You're going to strike success if you're studying successful businessmen who did believe in universal law, but broke it down in different ways. You can read a Napoleon Hill book and not understand metaphysics at all because he was a good businessman, but what his knowledge came from was metaphysics. So if they're reading success books and success guides and 48 laws of power, all that stuff is universal law rolled into a different format. So either way, their success comes from that type of knowledge, whether they know it or understand it. Okay? Because if they had started studying universal law and all that stuff, they're going to recognize it. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is just like the 48 laws of power. Oh my God, this is just like that Napoleon Hill book. Oh my God, this is just like Think and Grow Rich. Exactly. Okay? So, yeah, it's all in there. You want me to put this troll in a jar for you? What troll? Hmm. Y'all. Okay, so chicken nugget. Um, so anyway, let me bring y'all up on my YouTube on this bigger screen so I can see the words bigger because I like staring at this little small screen. Um, how do you feel about alcohol? Does drinking lower your vibration? It is a depressant. Hmm. I feel like if you're drinking too much, of course, you're gonna be vibrating lower. Crazy is the new black. Exactly. They even made a song about it by CeeLo, or was it Gnarls Barkley? Um, Tonight is a good night for manifesting. Lowers your vibration. Okay, so here's the thing. Some people that work with spirits and they have a certain religion and they drink and they get drunk to uh, be possessed by the spirits or whatever they call it. Certain entities, certain spirits are of a lower vibration, and if you're on a similar vibration, contact is good. You know, if you're on a higher vibration, you know, whatever, not going to be the same. So, why, kitty? If you study alchemy and you study plants and spirits and alcohol, they all have a spirit. Okay, that's why they call them spirits. Um, so according to the vibration of what that substance can do for you is what type of spirits or entities or frequencies you're going to pick up on. Okay, so that's what it depends on. It's very scientific. Hmm. That's why I feel like so many people want something. So many people want weed. So many people want alcohol. So many people want drugs. That's why if you introduce something that is divine, the divine metal, which is gold, you know, as a supplement, among other things, you're going to be able to get a lot further than smoking some weed. You know what I'm saying? Because it is the divine metal. It is an alchemy. You know, they say change lead into gold. It is a conductor, a superconductor, of energy. So, you know, for those of you who aren't doing any type of supplements, any type of drugs or alcohol, and you want to get to the next level spiritually as far as conscious, then something like that would be good for you, you know. hmm And like that's another place you get stuck. A lot of people get stuck there. If you abuse that, you get stuck in needing a certain thing. hmm So you don't want to get stuck there. Weed and alcohol changes the blood chemistry. Exactly. Was the devil an angel? Lucifer was supposedly an angel. Lucifer means light bearer. hmm So if you're going by that, that's a troll. Mhm. High priestess, I read that too. Okay, so yeah, make your own universe, create your own world, and stop following people. That's the message. You have the power. You got free will. Do what you want. A lot of people think, "Oh, you're not humble. You know why should you be if you're a goddess or a god and you're in charge of your own divinity in life? Who are you supposed to be humble to? Okay, who taught you that? Ask yourself every time you start talking that nonsense. Ask where you learned that from and where they learned it from, and keep tracing it back until you figured it out. Who taught you you were a goddess? Um, Divinity taught me that I was a goddess. I already knew. I was born knowing. That shoot. Believe me, you know. You know who taught certain people that they were certain people. Why do they come out acting like they act? They know subconsciously. I see no evidence we are divine. That you are not divine. You are a follower. I see evidence. I don't need anybody to tell me I'm divine. I know it. Okay? That's how you know. You just know. It's a direct connection, darling. If somebody has to tell you you're divine for you to believe it, you're following. You got to know it. So I'm sorry. If you don't feel divine, that's your problem. Okay. If you don't believe you're divine, you are not divine. The evidence, let's see the evidence. Okay. Here's the evidence. I'm divine because I am. Where's your evidence that you're not divine? You show me some evidence that you are not divine. Okay. There you go. Where you get your strength? You've been on here a long time. I'm a vampire too. Is garage well divine? See, y'all trying to be messy. Let's see. By her lifestyle, I would say no. Mm-mm. You know any? I don't know it. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, do divine people get up and do what she do? You know any? Yes. Are trolls divine? I don't know. So The vampire manifesting. Be good. Where you need blood, you grind some beans and have a coffee. Grind some beans. Wow. What about water spirits? What about them? Mm-hmm. Right. So everyone's a god or goddess, but they have to realize it. Okay. And seek divinity. That's what alchemy is. Your human form is lead, your divine form is gold. You turn lead into gold. The philosopher's stone in alchemy is your divinity. So when you figure that out, when you figure out your divinity, that's when you are divine. Some people are born knowing, and that's why they can't stop seeking knowledge until they know both subconsciously and consciously. Okay. They were gods before. There were gods before Christianity. Mm-hmm. Who was the first god or goddess that you can remember in history? What was the first thing that it was praised as a divine? I'll wait. Sun, the tree of life, light, mother, mother, light, woman, void. The first thing that was worshipped, the first thing that was thought to be divine by humans themselves. Aliens, earth, evolution, fire, nature, dark energy, da, da, da. Stars, moon, water, animals, gold, snakes, sun, Adam and Eve, our planet, water. See, I was just naming random stuff. Reflection. Um, you don't know. Pregnant woman. I want to know because I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to Google. What was the first god or goddess? Who was the no? What was the first god or goddess? Lies. No. They don't even go back to the. Well, the term god and goddess did not come until Greece. So we can't say the word god and goddess. We have to use a different word. What was the first thing worshipped? Huh?
Picture. You know the scariest thing about this picture?
What, baby?
There's no
Hi, baby.
It also has 10 fingers.
Oh.
And I named it the most average name, Emma.
Emma. The most average name. Sorry if anybody names Emma.
Nothing's wrong with an average name.
Okay, it says the first thing to ever really be worshipped in the primitive times was a stone. A stone. Okay. It says blah 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 blah. They worshipped everything on the face of the earth, but they chose stones because I guess they could carve it into whatever. One worship of stone and hills. Okay. First object to be worshipped by evolving man was a stone. Today in India, still worship a stone. So an object. Plants and trees were next. Then animals. Then the elements. Then the heavenly bodies. Then worship of man. Because if you think about it, a long time ago, eyes were not as developed as they are now to see up into the heavens. Evolution, you know. So the sixth thing that was worshipped was man. Then the seventh thing was blah, 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 blah. Wisdom, meditative, experimental thinking. So what we're doing now, basically. Okay, goats. Yes. So between the worship of heavenly bodies, then the worship of man, the worship of four elements, and the worship of animals, you combine all this stuff together and you have witchcraft. You got stones, spirit animals, you got your astrology, you got your deities, you got what? The elements. And then the last thing, meditation and spirit worship. There you go. We still do it all. And I wonder what number 8 is going to be. Self. Number 8 will be self. Rick Ross, The Rock. Beyonce be on her rock. The Rock. The first thing to be worshipped. The foundation of spirituality is a rock. Interesting. That's why I guess they call it a foundation, a bedrock. Anyway, I had fun. I got to go do my stuff. When do I release my elixir? Tomorrow. I'll do a video. I'll release it tomorrow. And I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it on Etsy or my dark realm page. I'm probably going to do Etsy because it takes all forms of payment. And it can calculate international shipping. Any free samples? This is not the grocery store. Sweet dreams. Okay. And beautiful nightmares. Thank you. Appreciate it. I have to see what I need. I have to see. It's not going to be over It's not gonna. It depends on where you live too, because the shipping is going to be included. So if you live far, it's gonna cost a little bit more. But I'm trying to price it around 65. Okay. Depending on where you live, it may vary. Hmm. And if I can get half bottles for less, I'll let you guys know. Hmm. But if not, it's going to be that price. Hopefully, I have to do all the math. Once I get the bottle tomorrow, if I get it tomorrow, I'll have to calculate out a lot of stuff and see what it is. But it should be around that price. No, you don't wear it. You ingest it. Hmm. 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 It's a supplement that's going to bring you consciously to a different level. Mm, no, you can start anywhere. No matter what your conscious level is now, it's going to help you. Well, the directions are, take from 3 to 20 drops a day. So I would start off and work my way up. How old am I? Mm, I'm infinite. On Earth, I'm 39. Tips on decalcifying the pineal gland. This elixir that I have will definitely do that, among other things. Hmm. The suggestion is 3 to 20 drops a day. So, you know what I mean? Follow the suggestions. Mhm. Okay. Will the cat be getting any elixir? No. The cat is already divine. The cat don't need the elixir. Okay. We should strive to be more like the cat. Thank you. Mhm. Would Why would a cat need it exactly? They already know that they're divine. They act like it, walk like it. Or have you worshiping them, doing whatever they want. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow and I'll introduce my product. If I don't get it in the mail to show you guys, I will be selling it still. And I'll just have to just hold up a little photo of it, okay? Because I'm still waiting on it. But it will be for sale. So I will see y'all then and y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.